Okay, so there is allegedly a new Cloverfield movie, and I say allegedly because, well, stay tuned. Anyways, they made sure that there was no opportunity for any critics to get a look at it or even a trailer. They just rushed it right out after the Super Bowl. What's the result? Let's find out. I just let everybody know up front, it's going to be a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. It's on Netflix, so watch it. Come on back. All right, you're here. You've seen it. So basically, we've got a movie about an Earth that's running out of energy, and some people up in a space station are working on a particle accelerator to give them new energy.
If this doesn't work, I can't even think about what happens to me.
Turn it on, whammo, it projects them into another dimension or something, and they have to get back to Earth, which has disappeared.
Well, it's big, blue, full of angry people. Keep looking, you'll find it.
So we start off with likes, and I gotta be up front and say I really didn't have much. Not at all. The only thing, you know, there was something I liked, but it was not explored. You have the concept where you go into a different dimension and parallel universes, and the lead actress in, shall we say, Earth 1, you know, had her kids die because of some mistake she made. Earth 2, the kids didn't because the mistake wasn't made, and she wants to go back down to that Earth and, you know, be with her kids or whatever else is going on in her crazy mind. There's an interesting dynamic there that could be explored. You know, what would actually happen if you did that? How would the husband relate to her? How would it be with two of the identical women? How would it mess up the kids? How would it mess up the dynamic? You know, how do you deal with the fact that she doesn't have any ID or can't get a job? You know, there's just a whole host of little interesting things that somebody, you know, that, you know, a bit more talent could focus. But again, that was just a potential. It wasn't actually there. I just needed kind of something to say to fill up this section. Okay, it's dislike time, and I've got two areas of dislikes, shall we say. One is specific to the movie, and the other is this whole Cloverfield thing. Okay, so let's address the movie first, get that out of the way. Basically, what you've got is a rehash of just, I mean, everything. You know, aliens instead of a chest burster, you got a worm burster. You know, a little bit of like, you know, Event Horizon with the crew going, you know, crazy, or you know, you got some, you know, cyberpunkish type shit with the wires inside the chick. It's like, yeah, it's all a mess. None of it makes any sense. It's all been done before and done better, to be honest. The big one for me, and I'm gonna accept that this is a total pet peeve, so you may give two shits about it, but their science was so wrong, it's not even funny. Like, I get in a lot of science fiction and a lot of horror movies, with willing suspension of disbelief, you gotta kind of go with the flow on some things. Some things are so far off the mark that you just can't, okay? So for example, in this movie, they're relying on a particle accelerator to solve the energy crisis. Well, okay, ruling out the fact that particle accelerators can't do that. Particle accelerators, especially the good ones, are miles and miles and miles long, okay? This is on a space station, in orbit. I don't know, 300 feet, 400, it wouldn't even register. It would be useless, okay? Then, to add extra insult to injury, they claim that if they turn it all back on, then magically it'll all be fixed, because the quantum entanglement theory, which also doesn't work like that, or even remotely close to that, okay? And then, final insult, again, willing suspension of disbelief, is shattered with the the arm with a mind of its own. I guess would call it. Because not only is it ridiculous that the dude's lost half his arm and everything's fine, but the arm is moving around independently and is capable of hearing, I guess, because it wrote out a note for them to go check inside a guy for the sphere, or for the gyroscopes, that we don't even know, or they care to explain how the arm would know that it's in there. It just, God, on and on and on. The gravity thing, I've given up on hope, okay? There's no gravity in space. You had the little spinning things to replicate it, except when they were walking between them, in which case it wasn't utilized. Insulting. All of it. Just absolutely insulting. And then, for this movie specifically, again, just utterly, totally, everything was predictable. You knew that, one of the people was going to turn or be accused of turning. You knew the end was not going to be a happy one. You could care less about the husband, but obviously that was a reshoot on Earth, and that's actually just going to bring us to the big problem. The Cloverfield thing. Okay, so here's what's really going on, and let's not even sugarcoat it. The Cloverfield film comes out, and I personally did not enjoy it because I don't like the found footage thing. A lot of people did. We got a nice monster movie. I'm not going to knock that. It wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen. It's done, finished. Okay? Then a couple years ago, a movie is made called The Cellar. And it's a great movie. It's a great examination of, psychological terror and horror, or claustrophobia, with, the three people in a bunker after some, undisclosed, post-apocalyptic thing, and, their interactions and the revelations and what goes down. It's beautiful. Goodman was amazing in it, everything. But I guess they just didn't have enough of it. Or there was some idiotic decision made, because what happened was they took this great movie and they said, after they get outside of the bunker, spoiler alert, we're going to ruin it. We're going to ruin all the goodwill that we've created by having the lead actress suddenly turn into Superwoman, and we're going to throw this little reference image to Cloverfield so that we can call it a Cloverfield, because the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so great, everything has to be a shared universe now. So we're just going to crowbar it in. So we're going to ruin The Cellar by making it a part of Cloverfield, kinda, sorta, but not really. Fast forward. We now have a movie called The God Particle. Now, the original script is actually a little bit different than what was done. The original script wouldn't have been much better, I'll be honest with you. However, again, they step in and say, let's take this movie and crowbar this bullshit Cloverfield stuff into it again, just so that we can get this shared wacky universe thing going. And so we'll reshoot a bunch of crap. We'll throw a gigantic monster version of, what is that? What is that? Is it my time warning? I think it is. I don't care. I'm pushing forward. And I forget the name of them. If it's, cloud nerds can check me. It's, circumcumulus or something like that. Anyways, the clouds at the end exist starting at 1,200 feet. So the monster Cloverfield that rises above it is more than 1,200 feet tall. Okay? Which, ridiculous, but hey, it's monster movies, I'll let it go. If that thing is trouncing around the Earth, not a lot of hope for humanity in any way, shape, or form. Who cares, right? That's not the point. The point is that it wasn't needed. God Particle, good or bad, should have stood on its own. The Cellar definitely should have stood on its own. But because there's this idiotic idea that we got to have this shared universe stuff, we're going to go and do this. And, further proof that they had no faith in this movie whatsoever The trailer and the movie were released simultaneously before any critical review or reception on Netflix right after the Super Bowl. Now, someone has already done it, and they've been like, oh, this is a new form of marketing. No, it's a bad form of marketing, okay? Marketing, by definition, is letting people know about a wonderful product that you have. Keeping it secret, announcing it, and releasing it on what is ostensibly a free service. I know you're paying for Netflix, but you're not paying every single time you watch something, is not marketing. Okay? It's shame. And then, finally, just so you know, there's gonna be another war movie they're gonna cram the Cloverfield name onto. God knows how that's gonna be. I'm sure there'll be, some new marketing campaign on that. Maybe we'll surprise and show it on network TV for free. I don't know. I don't care. This whole shared Cloverfield universe idea needs to go away fast, and go away permanently. It's not working. In the case of The Cellar, it ruined a really, really great film. In the case of God Particle, it didn't do it any favors. So just let it go. Just put it down. If you want to do a shared universe, go build one. Go grab one that's already out there. There's a whole truckload of comic companies that all have their own shared universes besides Marvel and DC. But just stop forcing it where it has no place whatsoever. Alright, it is Pinhead time, and as you saw, my likes were non-existent. It was something on potential. So I can say that this movie was, competently well done. I wasn't angry or upset, like, God, this was the worst thing ever. But it wasn't much, so it's going to be half a Pinhead for me, for the fact that it wasn't a complete and utter disaster. Alright, so that's my take. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Plus, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I got that this isn't exactly within sort of the realm of horror that we normally do on this channel. Let me know if you guys are cool with that. Maybe I can start mixing it up with some other stuff. I just want to hear from you.